How high will England's flag be flying come full time? Can Rob Shaw's men deliver the bite of the underdog, or will New Zealand put the full stop on an impressive unbeaten season? All to be revealed for you on Sky Go in 3D with Dowie Morris and Mark Robson talking you through the action, and here on Sky Sports 1 HD with match commentary from Stuart Barnes and Miles Harrison.
We constantly hear in the build-up to these games about the importance of the jersey, especially to the world-famous All Blacks, and how it's merely on loan. Today, England looking to show what their shirt means to them. The pressure of expectation for victory for England, well, maybe externally at least, that has gone today. But the expectation to perform has not. It is one last shot for glory in this autumn series, looking for a win that would totally change the view of their year. The one change in the team is Farrell for Flood. Alex Corbisiero, who made the big difference last week. Dan Cole and Tom Youngs complete the front row. Joe Launchbury looks to the man aboard. Jeff Parling, we did see that snarl that he was asked to give, a real presence in the loose versus South Africa. Tom Wood and captain Chris Robshaw, the flankers. Ben Morgan, who made a successful return, is at number 8. Ben Youngs is paired with Owen Farrell then, after Toby Flood's foot injury. Farrell holding off the growing challenge of Freddie Burns. Brad Barrett and Mana Tuilagi still under fire from some as a centre combo, looking to fire something back today. Mike Brown and Chris Ashton are the wingers, Alex Good is full-back, all three hoping that the ball and the chances come along that line. New Zealand hit by the norovirus this week, but it's the side England expected. Tony Woodcock, Owen Franks and Kevin Mialamo. No Andrew Hoare, of course, suspended after what he did in Cardiff. Brodie Retallick comes back into the second row for Luke Romano and partners Sam Whitelock. Liam Messam, Richie McCaw, the captain, and Kieran Reid, the back row. Aaron Smith, Dan Carter. Carter's missed the last two, nursing a calf injury, but he doesn't miss Twickenham. When he last wasn't here, New Zealand lost. Ma'a Nonu, a man who does know what it's like to lose to England. Wellington 03 and Conrad Smith. This, a world record centre combination. Julian Sarvea, what a first international year he's had. Corey Jane and Israel Dang, lethal finishes too. Replacements, Freddie Burns waiting for his debut. Courtney Lawes back in the squad after injury. For the All Blacks, how about Aaron Cruz's record? 19 caps, he's never tasted international defeat. The best start ever made by an All Black. Lucky charm? Well, no. This lot do not do luck.
Well, England has been bursting with character this autumn, but there's been a shortage of class. In stark contrast, the All Blacks are 24 carat, still chock full of pride. For England to shock New Zealand, they'll need a few moments of magic to mix with their 80 minutes of undoubted endeavour today.
206 caps for England in the starting 15. New Zealand, 788. It's another experience mountain to climb then. And whatever happens here today, any assessment of this autumn has to include that factor. But how England acquit themselves today against this team, the best team in the world, is so important too. Led out by Richie McCaw, arguably the greatest of them all, and about to head off for a 6-month rest. And I think it's safe to say he doesn't want to go there on the back of a loss.
Alongside him in the back row, Kieran Reid. He will be looking to crown a colossal year with yet another one of those towering performances in every aspect of his game. He has imposed his presence game after game. On Thursday, Sean Fitzpatrick said to me he was his pick as the IRB Player of the Year, having been nominated, and I wouldn't disagree.
Chris Robshaw and England have got one last 80 minutes to save their autumn. And for Robshaw, regardless of the rights and wrongs of that call last week and the resultant flag this week, fair or not, he knows that the thing he didn't appear to be clear. He needs the support of his team today. He's certainly got the support of the crowd. To win last week, as they did against Australia, but couldn't find them.
today, Matt Ashton, the same is one of the few players capable of conjuring inspiration. The fact that he's stopped scoring is more an indictment of those around him, because his running lines, as he showed last week against South Africa, remain as sharp as ever.
Interesting twist on the anthems today. Laura Wright will lead God Save the Queen. Chris Robshaw's partner, Camilla Kerslake, the New Zealand anthem. Her father is a New Zealander.
The national anthem of New Zealand, led by Camilla Kerslake. For the national anthem, led by Laura Wright.
Yes, England have to be at their best. And in all honesty, considering where New Zealand are at as a team in comparison at the moment, and the things that they prove they can do, England probably need their opponents to have a rare off day too. More grey than black. Can England unsettle the world champions, or is it set to be another convincing all-black win on this remarkable unbeaten run? The Harker. recently, neither was liked. But you've got to like this. North versus South, England versus New Zealand. They first played in Crystal Palace in 1905. New Zealand won then. They've won most since then too. 27 to England's paltry 6. But that kind of record makes the wins for England the most valuable prize in rugby outside that modern invention that is the World Cup.
An incredible record that the All Blacks have in Europe this century. England beat them here in 2002, and then they only lost one game since then. That was to France, Cardiff in the World Cup quarter-final in 2007. France had lost to Argentina in the pool stages. They were written off. They were not given a chance by anyone in France, and they beat New Zealand. You never know.
Captain, you good to go?
Played 3, lost 3 to the big 3.
Let me know where.
England know that, but they also know that they still have it in their power to make it all feel a lot better tonight. And just think what a win would do. But can anyone stop the All Black machine? Youngs. Farrell offloads straight away to his captain. Here's good. And England come away with launch spray. A new one for the All Blacks to have a look at. But he's not alone in this England side. From back. Up goes Tom Youngs. Tom and Ben Young's father, Nick, played in an England side that beat the All Blacks, 1983. Here's Dag, and he calls for the mark, Israel Dag. 5 tries at the Rugby World Cup, but he's a fine defender as well as a tackler.
England will have to kick better than that. Kicking will be imperative today. And Israel Dag, easy catch, but a loose kick, the chance for Alex Good to put up a decent kick. And again, no test for New Zealand.
Far too close to the opposition, giving them time, although Parling had done well and nearly got a charge down in. There's Farrell, covered by Kieran Reid, who came to the side against Italy. He's a very proud man to do so, scored a try in that match.
I know it's only early days, but 3 times England have kicked the ball, and not once has the ball got anywhere near hitting the grass. They have got to start moving New Zealand around, the likes of Reid and Dag. Otherwise, New Zealand will control that aspect and they will counter. The kicking wasn't good enough last week. It has to be better. Tom Youngs, he had a bit of a test last week. He'll get another examination now.
6 lineouts lost. First,
Turn it over in 15.
Victors with Elizabeth getting across that England line last week. It's good start for the England line out there.
Knock back by New Zealand.
And he might fall for Taylor. Gives it to Barrett. Barrett tried to offload, but Richie McCall was there. And we'll say that a few times this afternoon. Really broke that, but it might break again as Manu tries once and twice. England just go through offside. But they were putting pressure.
Well, New Zealand are very good at putting pressure on opposing kickers. Bit of their own medicine there. Good start for Young. Arrows that to the tail. And Launchbury, he's had a carry, he's had a catch. There's the pressure you see Carter putting on Farrell. But then, when New Zealand are trying to clear their own 22, they're looking to run. If it's not on, they kick. Not use technique, put under pressure. Good work from England.
Little snapshot there, the confidence of Tom Youngs as well. Missed those 6 lineouts last week. He went to the tail, as you say, arrow-like.
And that's a better kick. If you're not going to go to the ground, give your chaser a chance to get there. And Ashton, he'll fancy his chances against the less experienced surveyor.
The slap down from Surveyor as well. Not a convincing New Zealand run, in contrast to England's.
England delighted with that. They turned it over. Slap down comes from England, so England have the ball now. Tremendous work at the front there. Another day, another time grabbing the arm there. Wood could have been penalised.
Could easily been a penalty, that one. But Wood doing what I was talking about Etzebeth was doing to him in England last week. Goes to Jeff Parling. Record that one. 12 cap today, launch spree. You can see number 4, the other lock, doing his work.
He doesn't have to roll,
George
guys.
Clancy,
Give him the ball, take it in, he's not obliged to move.
decides that that will be a put into New Zealand at the scrum.
It's so good there. Kevin Mayalami ferrets away in those breakdowns, gets his body below it. His lineup though starting very well. Jeff Parling, he always reminds me of a New Zealand second row. Just think, does he have the girth to be an English lock forward? And then you think of the New Zealand second rows over the years, tall and gangly, but they get around and they make an impact. Oh, look at that. Richie McCall, more caps than all of England. That's how big a test it is.
Seeing Jones, of course, his physique. Tall and gangly, but one of the world's best. Here's Mike Brown. That's away from Corey Jane. That's a very useful thing to do. And Brown doing really well. Remember, this not his correct position. Well, that's an excellent effort from the England left winger. And then Farrell puts a lot of beat on that. Really drilled it. Well, the whistle's not gone because he brought full on the line. He didn't. The referee has pulled them back for the penalty. They're offside. Well played, Mike Brown. That really was good footwork in a tight spot.
Well, that Brown backs himself in against New Zealand. If you are going to counter, you've got to make sure you beat the first man. He did that really well. Corey Jones will be disappointed. Aaron Smith was beaten as well, but gave a target for his men. Already we've seen a lot of kicking. There will be plenty more. New Zealand, they like to kick and they like to work an opening from the counter. Oh, a missed penalty
From Farrell there. Young man missing his touch, and England can't afford those errors. They really can't. Saying all week, they've got to play somewhere near optimum. Brown is chasing this. He's got right middle. I knew he was always going to do that, but Daggy's swiftly across.
horrible strike there through the ball.
Chance for England to counter-attack, therefore comes to Farrell again. Fires that off to Ben Morgan, who stands tall, gives it to another Ben. Youngs, plucked down by Alex Gould. Now the match against Fiji. Seems a long time ago there. It's a busy old month this. Farrell kicks again, Jack was there once more, and then it's Jane, who's outside his 22 by a mile. They're not him, and he's given the ball away.
Justin, England are not kicking brilliantly, but New Zealand are kicking quite badly at the moment. And in the fourth, here's a kick where Matt Brown has 10 metres in space, and Corey Jane beaten there. The New Zealand kick chase game not functioning at the moment. Matt Brown giving some early incentive to the players around him. Now we've seen Tom Young's arrow onto the tail for Lynchbury, who's there again.
It's quick off the top. It's Young's to turn out. Young's as the cannonball. Farrell. Bit high again for good, but he's got great skills. The England fullback. But it is an offence at the breakdown coming in at the side. And then Youngs apologises. England didn't exactly give the ball back quickly to New Zealand, but give me a team in world rugby that does.
That started really well. Lynchbury at the tail, Jeff Parling in the middle, and the key to it is it's not just line-out ball, it's really top quality line-out ball. Daniel Carter, bit of a showboat kick with his left foot there, outside of the boot. I think showboaty about this though. Parling is really high, lovely soft touch there, and that's the sort of ball that Manu Tuilagi can play off, but no disguise there. It was too easy for me at New Zealand's midfield.
It was Messon winning the line out, and it was Aaron Smith. So quick, everything that he does, really impressive in New Zealand colours this season. Coming into the side after the World Cup. There he is again, Dan Cole with a hand on him, but Smith quickly away. And there's Woodcock, the one who scored the try in the World Cup final. Smith to another Smith. There are 3 in the 23. As Conrad Ben is on the bench. With a short ball from Return, England tackling well. They are kings of patience, New Zealand, and Carver goes crossfield, looks for Jane. Jane rises, but again, George Clancy gives the penalty. He's very, very quick on anyone straying in front today.
Captain, we always have a scrum. We always have a scrum before the ball was kicked. I reckon you want to come back.
A rush here from England. They need to show composure in all facets of their game. And playing it at their pace is just one of those.
So where is Corey Jane? Is he in front? Right at the bottom of your screen, you will see Corey Jane's head. It is a desperately tight call. Here he is, and it's close. It's very close. Brown chased it down well anyway.
That's a good take from Launchbury, the Wasp, who's brought his club form onto the international stage. Yeah, as you can see again, the pressure was under to get that box in here. Corey Jane, Mike Brown, used the full-back position as well, and it showed there. They're put into New Zealand, but the whole front row got their caps, Woodcock, Biolano and Franks. That's more than the England team put together.
Corey Jane is a master of aerial rugby. Started as a full-back, sevens expert, but a brilliant footballer, and he is so committed. This guy has everything it takes to be a top-level international full-back. He's probably in New Zealand as a bloke called Dag, but he's made himself into an outstanding wing. Carter's kicking game and Jane's ability to win those crossfield kicks makes him such a threat.
Scored those tries against Scotland and Italy. It was yellow card for him on the score sheet last week. The report of the game in the match against Wales. Steve Hansen, the former Wales coach, of course, and what start he's made as the overall boss. He'd been assistant to Graham Henry. His record was pretty good as well, just about as good as it gets when you're involved in a All Black team, and that is instilled in Jane.
Through with Australia. What is it, 20 unbeaten now? It's astonishing.
Number 21, but that was a good scrum from England. Crossfield again from Carter, goes the other way this time. Good was trying to get his kick in again. Salvaire was there in attendance. And he scored 10 tries in his first international year. Leading try scorer in international rugby this season, the New Zealand winger. This is the scrum and England's effort.
Well, England will be looking for penalties from the scrum, and they'll be looking for an edge. New Zealand, the way they play, they'll be looking for top quality ball just to release their backs. It's a nice crossfield kick by Carter. Good, took it really well, but Surveyor, his chase was excellent there, just starting to pick up their kick and catch game, New Zealand, after a slow start. England was slightly concerned because New Zealand aren't out of the blocks yet, and against the All Blacks, you want to build points when you're not playing.
Pressure from Salvaire. Here comes off that wing, pushing into Tuilagi. Not many do that. Tuilagi was back on his feet. Look at the reply. There's Manu, and then Woodcock takes it forward. Good line from Woodcock there. Saw the space. Whitelock has gone behind McCullough in retreat.
Advantage.
Throws his head back.
First knock on by White.
But he will take and some catching the interceptor. McCall will not appreciate the ball that went to him. It put him in trouble. All kinds of trouble.
This there from New Zealand. Some powerful play initially from Marnolly, but that's poor work. New Zealand pride themselves on the quality of their front five, and if Mike Brown's left hand just knocks that one up, it may not be Usain Bolt, but he's under the post there. A little bit loose from the court. Big attack position here for New Zealand.
One of the reasons Brown is brought into the side is his big left boot. We've hardly seen it thus far.
Stand on, we'll have it again.
He has to show his instinct too to pounce in those
immediately on engage to get it long.
interception situations.
Have it here.
He wasn't just kicked for the sake of it against New Zealand. They kicked to force the loose kick, and then they counter. That is one of their prime attacking weapons. So if the New Zealand kick isn't good enough, bringing the ball back, beating a couple is really good play. It's the ideal way to take on New Zealand. Carter's so flat.
Much better New Zealand squad there. It's Carter flat. And now Tuilagi holds on to his ankle. And it's such a great battle between those two today. Carter again to Whitelock and then Tuilagi.
Advantage.
And very slow to get back there. England in the shape of Corbisiero, referee gives the penalty against them. Number one, Alex Corbisiero.
Well, that's somewhere on the borderline between cynical and silly, because that should be 3 points for Daniel Carter. There's no way George Clancy is going to miss that. He knows what he's doing there. Then he puts his hand up to say, George, if you didn't know it was me, here I am. Carter should kick this, but Daniel Carter, imperious a player as he is, every now and again does have an early misfire. Problem is, after the misfire, he tends to get everything. We've seen it here at Twickenham, haven't we? This game, a couple of loose kicks, and you're thinking, great, Dan Carter's having a bad day. And then suddenly, everything goes.
167 points later against England. 9 from 9 against the men in white. It's the personal record for points scored in an international between England and New Zealand. For New Zealand at 26, 2006. This for the first 3 in 2012. Pretty close to that order, virtually in front. Can't say like the booing too much, but the England supporters will like the fact that Carter has missed. It stays 0-0.
Tremendous restart and excellent play from Whitelock there.
Take from Whitelock. There's no. And Conrad Smith. And England cannot afford to give this man any space at all. Reid to Retallick. 6'8", over 19 stone. But he held over despite all of that weight and presence. What Launchbury doing is put on the floor again.
Effective tackle in England. They're watching Kieran Reid keep delivering these one-out passes to the likes of Retallick, but England are ready for them, and they're not just making tackles, they're making very effective tackles. Kick-off much better than a lot we saw against South Africa, competitive, but that's high-class stuff there from Whitelock. And then defensively, the threat of the unspoken Conrad Smith. Owen Farrell just goes a little bit high, and he just shrugs his way through there. England have to make sure their tackles stop New Zealand on the gain line and drive them backwards. They mustn't let them go forward. That's the sort of tackle they need.
Stuart speaking there. Joe Launchbury receiving some treatment, but he stays out there. He's okay. He made his Premiership starting debut February 2011. And his international debuts in sea early in November.
Does Rob Shaw now go up and take the 14 players and say, look, they're the world's #1 team, they're the world champions, but they are not from a different planet. We're in this game, they're making errors, we can do this.
Well, they read that one, Whitelock. And McCall. Carter again. And good, with time. Until London arrives. Barrett with Ashton almost in the way there.
There's Barrett in the run. That should have got to Ashton.
There's Tuilagi. And there goes Morgan. Very lack of communication between the two. We're going to need to sort that out. So cannot really afford to concede line-out possession. And get back to that 100%. The same way near it. We saw in the first 2 weeks. Down there. And he just gets the ball away. And the advancing Farrell is good. And he strikes that pretty well.
Farrell is very deep here, but look at this, he passes this ball to Jeff Parling, and Parling, when he takes it on, hardly makes any move towards the game line. England have to have their carriers playing flatter and come in harder. That's just England going backwards.
Carter, Savella, diagonal, lovely ball to Jane. Jane tries to go on the outside this time, and he beats good. Tuilingi gets across. England, a bit of a desperate scramble there. They were being stretched. Aaron Smith, though, that is not the right call. Hear the groans from the New Zealand players on the referee's microphone.
Hands of Dan, superb there, but that was a real gimme to Alex Good.
Good to touch. Front line we go. Dean Ryan.
Concerns around line-up, but it's a good read from New Zealand. Tom Wood dummies forward with Launchbury and Corbisiera coming back. But keep an eye on Reid. He's the man who reads it with Whitelock straight back, and it's a great steal.
It's not a great line-up. England reacted last week, didn't they, against South Africa, when one of their players was being kicked on.
But quite clearly, that is the England weights. Not straight there. Ben Youngs just gives Aaron Smith a little bit. I don't think that's a bad idea. Smith has been so dangerous with the ball in hand going forward. But once or twice teams have got to him, and if you can get New Zealand going backwards, you can rattle the scrum half. You really can do that. So good play there from Ben Youngs, put his weight back.
And the first match Smith did on that tour in 2010. And he was a New Zealand man. And Nick Samper turned out that way. Penalty, the scrum for England. Just shading that battle, aren't they? I think that penalty proves the point.
Much better kick from Aaron Farrell, much better kick.
And it was bold, and considering he missed early, he's got character, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Real pressure coming on Aaron Farrell. Owen Franks there. Corbisiera. Big debate after the South African game. Was he legal? The key point was, though, in the eyes of the referee, he was spot on and he won that battle.
Now, in the danger zone.
I'd love to see the England backs have some form of strike move and not just the drive.
England look dangerous here. Well, they should do.
Use it
now!
now!
The forwards are caught.
Use it!
They did stop, so he's going to use it now. Referee George Prince is called it. Ben Youngs was trying to get hold of it and couldn't. Well, the referee made the call. The allegation that it had stopped.
That looks hard on England. At that moment, I think George Clancy thinks it's stopped, but then England go again. That's a borderline call now. I think if I was a member of the England team, I'd be a bit upset with that one. I thought England, they checked, but they went again, and there was no 5-second pause.
Youngs was screaming, wasn't he, Ben Youngs? Oh, tries down on Smith, who is rattled here. Youngs opposite number.
A great work from Tom Wood there. Tom Wood came in against Australia off the bench, of course, in trouble. That was very good play. Aaron Smith, said it before, high-class talent, but England are getting to him a little bit.
Can they challenge at this line-up? No. Well, they were doing the line-up was excellent, and then none of it sliced off at source. Smith again, that's low ball. And that's a slice from Dow. So, There's yet more in the score, but that's what England have got to do now. They've got to make it count where it matters most. There's Woods charged it.
Great work from Tom Wood there. It was premeditated, it was easy for England to pick off on the All Blacks. Would have been one of the greatest teams ever. Far from perfection at the moment. There's a little bit of panic in the air.
England trying to join the dancing.
That's one!
Darling wins again. And there goes Morgan. On his own,
Advantage.
too isolated, England flying. Advantage being played, Robshaw. Oh, there's a chance to pass there. England secure, reasonably quick ball there. Farrell, Brown off his wing, but now New Zealand have got the numbers across. But Brown is strong. Still advantage, I think. Here's Youngs. With a pass there, two little passes between Morgan and Gordon.
Back here, advantage wasn't on.
Buxton can't quite take it, but it will be a penalty. Now, was there a chance earlier for Robshaw maybe to offload when there might have been an
You see
extra
the riding
man?
players off the feet.
Hard to call though, but I will say that Tax passing in the wide angles will have cheered Mark Cameron a lot. We've got the front foot at the moment. This is nice pass, and actually will be disappointed. Ben Morgan, hands good, Alex good. The way he holds his line there was excellent.
Is Ashton covered? He calls across.
Yeah, he's
Dax there as
going
well.
down there. Only one place he's going, but that's good hands from Morgan and Alex good. I think Ashton can see the black tide coming. Now, if England are going to win it, Dan Carter's going to have a day when he misses the odd kick. Owen Farrell has to have one of those days, and he doesn't miss a thing.
England kept saying he's in credit after what he did in the Six Nations. He was the next cab on the rank after Toby Flood. He's got the start. He's got the points. England really had to leave with something. And they do. Dean.
Oh, this was a significant improvement. England coming round the corner but getting straight. And when you're straight, it gives you the chance of simple hands. And that was a big chance for Ashton.
Penalty from number 10, Owen Farrell.
Carter's restart. A good chance from Reid and then down to Franks. Smith. Now has that woken up your but always the danger.
Great kick from Carter as well, wasn't it?
Here he is.
Release him!
2-0. Well, to be fair to England, I don't think the All Blacks have been asleep. It's just that England have started pretty well.
Advantage.
But there's a chance.
Just came in the side, we had a tackle, he came in the side.
Well, it's not as if New Zealand had put an 80-minute performance together on this tour. They've sort of burst into gear for 20-25 minutes and scored a lot of points and then gone into dormant mode again. England, I think they're on the edge of this one. Oh, Ben Morgan there. Frustration for Stuart Lancaster. New Zealand weren't really going anywhere there. But what a restart. Mark of a really good team. New Zealand go 3-0 down. They've had 5 minutes, probably some of their poorest rugby in the autumn, and then Dan Carter hits that flat kick that he's specialised, that he's made his own. And Kieran Reid just hunts it down, big Staunchbury to it, and New Zealand immediately go on the attack.
Yes, if it wasn't waking up, it was concentrating the mind, and we saw it all in that restart. But we also saw Stuart Lancaster's total frustration. He just got the lead, grabbed the momentum, crowd was going, and Morgan, that was in the silly category. Here's Carter, but he missed his first. A slightly better angle, though this is not too testing for a man of his calibre, but my goodness me.
Like that last up there, he came along the side of it. I don't want to interfere with this one half. You know what I mean?
Shoulder open, Miles. Shoulder open, and that was always just fading away from the moment he struck that one. And what will worry Carter a little bit, he's hooked one and he's faded another. It'll give England great encouragement.
Really does. Dax up and under. Goods catch. This might be, he loves that. Just to pick and run through or over the bodies. He's a spiky customer. That kind of competitive edge England really need today. And they're showing it across the board. Youngs. Down again. Holding back a bit to try and deal with Sabah. But he deals with England by going out wide and finding Nonu. Nonu after his own kick. If he gets something on this, it's real danger. And across comes Alex Good. Well, Nonu appreciates that.
Tall kick, and New Zealand will always look to cause problem from it. And in the end, Good happy to see that ball going. Good counter.
Rattale wins that line out. It's loose into the middle. It's eventually picked up by Conrad Smith. It might still work. Sometimes they do, but it's very unlike New Zealand. Down again. Carter, Whitelock, Reed. Dan Cole is off his feet now, driven off. Nonu to Mialamu. Out of the tackle well to Smith, but England tackling well. Through goes Launchbury, making himself a nuisance again. Carter, he shunted back. That was Tom Youngs. England newborns making the hits. That's Nessum to Smith, and he's got nowhere to go because Farrell was there. And Cole's working again, and Cole's got it. Well played. Dan Cole, Robshaw, good. England are looking to go. Barrett thought better of it. He only had a prop outside in Corbisier. But this might be something New Zealand could feed off as it breaks up a bit. But the England line is good, led by Robshaw.
Back, far side. Stay here.
All that criticism last week. People forgot just how well he played in the game. Launchbury again. Smith to Carter. There goes White, galloping a bit. Tackle from Corbisiero. Conrad Smith. This will be a real test of the England defence. The length of this attack as it came straight back at them.
Rock. Yep, ball was out.
Continues to be a terrific effort from England. And there in goes Wood. All Blacks know they're in the game all right. Another loose ball, and this time it does lead to the knock-on. If England just get the scrum, they'll be happy. They can press pause and reflect on some excellent, truly excellent defence.
Yeah, Aaron Smith struggling at the moment. Now, everyone's talked about New Zealand and their attacking game is not functioning yet, but what does function is their game awareness. Arrow is Morgan, he's trying to get to Julian Surveyor. Just watch this now. When we clear this, just watch exactly what happens when we run this one on. Mialamu just eases into his path, and Surveyor has 1.5 meters, and suddenly Nonu is in space. Clever work from the All Black hooker.
Work from Dan Cole was exceptional, and he got his reward, didn't he?
Second man in. You see Launchbury very quickly involved as well. Cole's not that aggressive at the breakdown. Farrell with the tackle, but what he does do, if he gets there before you, you do not budge him. A very English-style turnover and really well done there. But Aaron Smith must be up. The two big concerns for New Zealand at the moment. Smith is really wobbling at the moment, and Dan Carter's goal kicking. Two very kickable ones missed.
Touch. Set.
Fine ratio for England. It's the one miss so far. Keep it like that, and they've got a sniff. Ben Youngs to Barrett and Tuilagi. That was a little bit laboured, but Tuilagi gets it going. Robshaw and Youngs again. Chip is meant for Aston to chase. As Launchbury gets there first, as Aston just checked. That's a penalty though, and again it's because England are committing to the breakdown. And Launchbury is a major part of this. I mean, what is it? Second row, back row, it's sort of everything at the moment.
I think Tom Wood is also having an influential game, very close there. wasn't the greatest chase from England, but Ben Young's got that ball onto the ground. Just caught split second off the dag. He didn't have a soft option. He had to think, what do I do? And there's Launchbury, and there's Tom Wood. Second man in's doing a really good job. We saw it with that Dan Cole turnover. Farrell with a tackle, second man in Wood. This time it's Launchbury with a tackle, and then Tom Wood is making a real nuisance of himself, having a cracking game on the blind side.
Working beautifully together, and the captain acknowledges that. He's getting some assistance there at the breakdown.
I was certain Chris Robshaw was just going to go and pat Richie McCaw on the head. Maybe he thought better of it. Let the Giants keep slumbering.
I was even more certain he wasn't going to kick for the corner. But let's just leave that, shall we?
Lessons learned, moved on. They say.
Concentrate on the positives. Here's Farrell. Well, there is an awful lot to be positive about for England at the moment. What a lovely strike from Farrell.
Millions of crystal balls in rugby living rooms throughout the land. This morning, people woke up, thought let's go to Twickenham. They didn't see 6-0 after half an hour, except the optimists.
Launchbury came down, taken out in the air. I don't think there's anything malicious about it, and Reid is making that point. He was just challenging for the ball.
You're jumping in the air way too early. You're in the air way too early. I need to time it better than that. Not that way.
Jumping in the air way too early. He will argue that he has to set off what he does to get there.
He really commits himself, doesn't he? That is a ridiculous decision from George Clancy. Does he know that a number 8 is allowed to compete for a ball at a kick-off? And maybe because he pinged England pretty cruelly.
Captain, I'll give you guys the same protection at kick-off.
Turn it the other way.
Still chuntering about it. He was not happy with that. Every right. I have an opinion viewing of the replay. We've seen it going live too.
You don't mind electrical referee, but when it's wrong, he's really telling you what's what. That does grill a bit.
Youngs to Ernie. Carter, and he's still got going to the good support as well. To keep the drive
He doesn't have to release it, that's fine.
England don't have a left winger at the moment, they cannot be turned over. No intention of doing, have they? Tom Young's in the driving seat there. And the handbrake was off, wasn't it? Launchbury again. Partly. Coming up to 5 minutes before half-time. Absolutely flown back.
In the front five, carrying so well.
Youngs is flying. Here's Robshaw to Farrell. Tackled by Carter.
Ball was out.
Fine tackle as well.
Come off his leg.
His eyes must have been lighting up. Oh, hands there from Robshaw to keep it going.
Oh, come on, guys.
Relax.
There was nothing there. Oh, it's locked on here. Scrum. Black ball.
Game of few chances, but England getting closest so far.
Now Young's, he's got great acceleration and it enables him to just get off his feet and just keep going. Real target for the forwards, and then this is a nice delayed pass from Farrell. Carter makes a great tackle, and Aaron Smith, if we stay with it, again the scrum half just loses control. That's an accidental offside, and England unlucky not to have the pudding.
Okay. Can't stop forever.
Just thought there was a hint of a check on the Owen Farrell pass, which is what we've been wanting. So much since he's come on, he's been lateral and going across. That pass there to Manu
Can you go back a step?
really just tricked New Zealand.
Yeah, they need you straight. They need you straight. Keep an eye here, please, Lord.
Steve Hansen said in his previous
You're outside.
interview, didn't he? He wanted it to be bone deep from his side today, when it's England going to those places at the moment.
Drop the
too
bind
conceded
here.
at the scrum.
3. Drop the bind.
It's gone against Dan Cole.
3. Drop the bind.
Here's Carter.
Good kick from Dan Carter. Fancy that time goes the way of New Zealand. It's a long time since New Zealand have got to half-time without a point.
1998 by any chance?
Springboks.
Now produces on the ball.
Only 15, no over.
Here's Youngs. There's a lot of space there. And Jane goes back. And here's Dag. Now will Mike Brown think about a quick one? He will think. But the calm down call comes from Ben Youngs.
Our producer might be on the ball, but New Zealand are not at the moment. Ken Mailani, horrible line out. That's why, for all his natural skill, every now and again Andrew Hoare just shades the battle. Hoare, of course, banned at the moment, but New Zealand hand in possession to England, and Tony doing a good job.
Tony couldn't work together out there, couldn't enjoy his forwards. That's 5 takes now for Jeff Parker.
Okay.
The line out. And Launchbury takes the ball.
All those back players are legal.
Now England will know this can't come to a height and then start again without them getting rid of the ball. And Youngs is not going to take that risk. Out it goes to Farrell. Good pass onto Turan. Tucks them on the outside shoulder and goes for that angle. Then it's Alex Good. Presents it back to Ben Youngs. So what a time to score this would be. 2.5 minutes.
Advantage.
Under that until the interval. Well, there's the chance to score a penalty. England go for the drop goal with Farrell. Oh, that's what Mr. Wilkinson used to do. Free shot. I'll take it. I'll show my confidence, says Owen Farrell. 9-0.
Bad news to Farrell. He's not been at his best this season, but he stepped into the top shirt today. And his goal kicking, drop kicking has been full of authority. He's just not making errors at the moment, and the England pack have been superb. New Zealand, they do need to wake up very quickly. England have a handy lead.
Such an important spell now. This little tiny spell before half-time. And England keep coming. George Clancy has another look, but it is coming back. Be a bonus penalty here, and England know it.
It's fine, he's on his feet. He's on his feet, no problem.
Cole again. Sorry, it's Brown.
He's straight from his left wing. He said he'd love to join the forwards in those situations. We'll have a classic example of it and what he's done for his team. Now they'll have to go narrow here because Ben Morgan is the temporary left wing. Farrell, and he's starting to move it, and Too Good decides to stay in field. England protect possession. They've been good at that in this first half. They've been good at an awful lot of things in this first half. Rob Shaw. I don't want to stop playing. There's Barrett. So plenty of ball and points to show for it. Courvoisier. Tom Ward. A strong first half.
Advantage offside.
And there is the penalty. Ben Youngs.
Advantage.
Austin, but Farrell's going to get another shot for 12 nil. Now that's where you can turn one down from round about halfway. But the conditions played their part. Now is he pointing to the corner here?
He has to go for goal here. He has to.
Rob Shaw's decided.
Farrell could get it from here on a clear day. But as we go to half-time, what England will be delighted with is the fact when they've kept it tight, they've stopped New Zealand exercising their superiority in one-on-one skills, and they've made it a collective battle. And the collective battle up front is being won by England. The crowd are right behind them. I mean, Farrell is behind them. And when England have got territory and they've kept possession, they're coming away with points. That was a Wilkinson S moment, that drop goal. When you've got your opponent in a spot of bother, turn a bit of pain into agony. And that's what Farrell did there. This will be real agony. If England kick this, they go in 12-0. They have a massive chance of producing a shock against the 12-1 on favourites. New Zealand in trouble, England flying high.
Let's just listen to this roar if it goes over. It's still an if. Farrell. He's got it. Oh, yeah. He's got it. Twickenham can at last unleash that full-throated roar and this ultimate frustration. Not today. New Zealand are at 0 at half-time. Of course, it's full-time that will matter. But what a first half from England. The crowd not in a state of wondrous disbelief, but they are believing in their team. 12-0. Already England to kick off. Their points man today, Owen Farrell.
Knock back way, boys.
And England win it. Youngs to Ben Morgan. Terrific kick-off from England. This Tom Youngs. This time New Zealand try and rip it with Reid and McCall. And they work well.
Come on, guys, taking in and out,
All the small
turnover.
bits of the game that are so important. England against South Africa. Just drilled it down Dwayne Vermeulen's channel. He carried it away. These kicks are good. Farrell's technique excellent, and Jeff Parling catches a left elbow from Brodie Retalak for his pains, but England got the ball initially. They're winning the 50-50 breakdown ball, the 50-50 restarts.
Even the best face challenges, and New Zealand have one here. But England have a penalty here. It's about to say, obviously in the New Zealand dressing room, it would have been tense, trying to find the right words, the way out of this. England dressing room, well, they would have had time to think about being 12-0 up. But maybe the inexperience is coming in here. They have no fear. And they've gone at New Zealand again in the scrum. Won the penalty, and Farrell will have another shot.
Well, we know the All Blacks have shown this amazing capacity to score very quickly, but this kick goes over from Owen Farrell. It takes England out of range of 2 converted tries. We are in the realm now, if this goes, of being a very big lead. And frankly, Farrell has nailed his 3 penalties and his drop goal so well that though it's only 5 metres from touch, I fully envisage this flying straight through the post. And 80,000 plus Englishmen getting off their seat and going potty.
And Farrell will know all of that. And this is his challenge here, his personal challenge for the team, for the crowd. Everybody watching. 3 points here could make such a big difference. Keep the technique. He did. Player of the Year nominee. Looking like it.
They still wouldn't be getting that right, but fair dues to the bloke. Every time there's a misdemeanor from New Zealand, he is punishing them. 15-0 is a big lead, and now we'll see whether the world champions, the world best, are a world great team. The challenge is laid down, 15-0.
Yeah, that's on the restart. It will be typical of New Zealand. Maybe not today on the evidence so far, but over the last 20-odd games to come straight back with a score, but it's England who win it. That ball, and they're in a great position to win the match as Ben Young's almost got away there. Advantage still being played. I'm sure England wants it. Oh, good does. Now it's over. But England are almost over halfway. With Ben Youngs and Rob Shaw, who tried very hard there to get in touch.
Well, it just sums up the topsy-turvy nature of this test match today. Alex Good eases past who else? Dan Carter misses the tackle, and he's away, and he's disappointed there that he just couldn't quite link. Going backwards, Carter comes up step, lovely play there. Pulls him in, goes on the outside. Ben Young's in support, but nothing on the left-hand side. But again, confidence from the Saracens fullback to go.
Touch! Set! Break it up, break it up.
This run was on the move. And as ever, the ball went to the second row, not the front row.
Out here. What I need from you is both of you to go straight, okay? Get the shoulder up, both of you.
Six wins for England against New Zealand in the history of the game. Only 3 years if you want. Didn't take long. But 1936, the first one. 13-0 it was that day. Prince Obolensky for the historians England. Not in front of that move at the moment. But plenty of time for New Zealand to come back and come back hard. Milon. Carter. No. In goes McCall. Side entry-ish there from McCall.
England winning the collision again, driving New Zealand back.
Retallick. Reid. Robshaw, another tackle. Top tackler, top carrier. Westwood. And all that flat to cope with. It was very flat, he said, when he returned to camp, but the players and messages from outside the camp lifted him. Here's the New Zealand captain, trying to lift his team here. Carter, nothing. Dag. Brown's going to look at here, over the shoulder and round the back, and it's Jane. Jane carrying well. Tuilagi getting back, but Jane wasn't held there. In goes Smith. And England spoiled. Illegally. Owen Farrell was in there. Who plays the ball? Was
off your feet. Coming off your feet.
Mike Brown.
Hold on.
So he was spiking, and England again. The call has come. As they fly in to help their man.
Coming off the feet at the tackle area. That's what I saw. That's what I did. Back is back here. Back here. Off the feet.
Well, I have to say, great break from Corey Jane, but if the penalty there is for an Englishman going off his feet in the tackle area, 5 metres out, that's a yellow card. In that situation, that's a yellow card. Now Carter is not going to go for 3 points. Does he know that's Robshaw's corner?
Well, part of last week, New Zealand were mystified by Wales not going for points early on. Then, of course, it was Wales playing catch-up, and not catch-up they had to play. New Zealand playing it here.
No obstruction there.
And Aaron Smith and Milon moaning and pouring through again. And on the wrong side, mustn't interfere, doesn't. Morgan gets out of there. Smith again to Reid. That's a really strong carry from Reid. And suddenly England going backwards in the tackle. That's the England line, it's Smith. Surveyor, he can't stop scoring in international rugby this year. And he thinks he's got another.
Okay. Time off.
He's only 2 metres out.
Julia, can you hear me?
That down. That's a brilliant
Is there any
finish.
reason
He's
not to
big
award a
man,
try?
But the footwork of Surveyor and then the upper body strength. And New Zealand, it's almost like they just went from automatic into manual and straight through the gears. Surveyor steps inside 2. Ben Youngs misses him first. Tuilagi's there. He's just carrying everyone with him, and that is down. That's a try, no doubt whatsoever. Tom Wood, the last man to try and stop him, but Surveyor, that's a try. And a magnificent finish.
Yeah.
No reason there.
Thank you.
Number 11 for Julian Sauvé. Just his 9th cap. New Zealand, as England had feared, as many would have expected. Maybe England did too. Get that first try at the game.
This is far more dynamic. For the first time, McCall carries, and England this time they can't get to Aaron Smith. It's a quick ball. Dag's hands are good. And look at that, it's a 4-man bust there. 11 tries in 9 games, and I would hazard that is probably the most important Julian Sauvé has scored to date. And that tells you what a contest England are making of this. They're still in control.
Carter gets his kick now, but it's a conversion. So they made the right call. As Mr. Hindsight joins us again. But it was the call they had to make. And given the scoreline at 15-0, it's not 15-0 now. Carter's found his kicking boots. Front line.
This is a really poor decision against Owen Farrell. He works his way back. You talk about going through the gate. He does everything right. Aaron Smith has that ball in his hands when Farrell gets him.
That's the score, England 15, New Zealand 7.
That's why England protested.
Ball calls. People are going to look back afterwards, but England have got to write that out now. They're still 8 points clear. They need the territory, and they need to stop New Zealand playing at pace and getting into the danger zones.
And these are the calls that referees have to make in the heat of the battle.
Watch out.
There's Jane. He's so strong, he got through his man there. Farrell gets back. Different New Zealand here. But that is not the best service. Saw a few of those in the first half. England needed one there because there were plenty of black shirts lining up to launch another attack. But you get the feeling New Zealand have had a big telling off at half-time and probably told themselves off. A chance to take stock. Good, trying to make that into a good kick.
With a space here
For Dag and company. It's going to sit up for Nonu. It does. Over the top with a chip. Good as trying to get back there now. His hands excellent under pressure. Farrell.
Bring him on, bring him on.
Boots it away. Is he going to stay in? It does. With Israel Dag. Now suddenly it's coming at England from all angles. Carter. Miralamu. Smith again to Carter. Here goes Jane. He's heavily involved at the start of the second half. And he's creating something more. Lovely from Conrad Smith. To Kieran Reid. Back in the corner. Such menace. As I say, from all different angles. England not knowing where to look.
Well, Dag and Jane are just carving England up at the moment. This is a magnificent response from a team so flat for 40 minutes. 15-0 down after 41. They have clawed their way back into this game. They have savaged England in 5 minutes. We talked about their capacity to score. Owen Farrell has to find touch. Dag dances down the touchline. But when Farrell misses touch, New Zealand mean no, England are not reorganised. This time the pass is good. Morgan misses Jane. Jane, a superb offload. Conrad Smith and Kieran Reid in the right place, as he so often is. Now Carter missed 2 sitters in the first half. Now Dubuque at the start of this half. Look at this. Gorgeous play from Dag. But England only 1 tackle missed, I think, in the first half. 6 in about 2 minutes. And the scoreboard looks very different.
New Zealand have made 2 changes. Romano was involved in that last attack and come on for Italic. And now also Faumoina has come on for Owen Franks in the front row. And New Zealand have changed, regardless of the personnel switches. Here's Carter. And now it is 1 point between the 2 teams. Questionable penalty. Missed touch fine. And suddenly it's totally different. There are the England bench options.
Well, right now, I don't think they make any call. Because England, I don't think, are going to win by fighting fire with fire. They've got to quell them. Farrell is kicking so well, so it's not time for Burton. Maybe Haskell to add firepower at the breakdown. Maybe Courtney Laws to make some big hits, because England's tackling game is just going backwards. They're making the tackles, but they're not driving New Zealand back.
Would be easy to forget that England is still in the lead here. Brown. They wanted to be in touch on the hour mark. Well, then they would have been getting Bruni at 15-0 up. But they're still definitely in touch. More than that. Here's Farrell.
Would you believe it?
What a moment for those two!
Brad Barrett has been so blunt. He has hit once, but has hardly picked a line all autumn. And then he's found this one, and New Zealand's lead. New Zealand are suddenly on the back foot again. Conrad, Smith baits, Barrett just waits. Superb defence from New Zealand, Jane and Dag, but that's a brilliant offload from Tuolangi. Conrad Smith goes early to good weight on the pass of Farrell. Kieran Reid can't get there, and this is a real classy man. Oh, a little bit of fortune. It's just caught, I think it's in Israel Dags, the crook of his arm, and it's popped up for Brad Barrett. But England play with great guts, deserve their luck there. And what a moment.
Magnificent score from England. Talk about getting your timing right there. Barrett and Tuolangi, as you said, a little bit of luck at the end. And it has to be acknowledged too. With New Zealand having just racked up those 14 points. Oh, look at this from Farrell. Hits the crossbar. Oh, how useful that could have been. Dean Ryan.
Of all the people, it's Conrad Smith. He's so worried about Tuolangi on the outside. He pushes early, and that gives Barrett the space through to get the break in behind.
Amazing there from Conrad Smith, because Corey Jane had his man covered there. Big error from the Wellington man.
Good effort again from Farrell off the kicking tee. Could have created that 8-point gap. George Clancy, again, the policeman at the breakdown. This time the instruction, New Zealand did move away.
But importantly for England this time, they've got the 5 points. Decent kick-off from New Zealand, but England have won the penalty, and Alex Good to put England exactly where they want to be, just short of the 22. Swing low, swings round Twickenham.
Tackles taken out of them. Will that come into play, although they have the whole bench to use in this final quarter?
You just feel, Mars, England had to score very quickly at 15-14. The game, even though they led, was running away from them, and suddenly England have changed the tempo.
You saw New Zealand don't have all the bench, but they have a very good one.
Coming back here, guys. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait. Claire joined the line up before the ball was thrown in. Claire joined the line up before the ball was thrown.
So it's a free kick. So if New Zealand go for touch here, which they won't, they'll lose possession. Will be England's line-out, but England look for a cover tackle on the short side, and they find it. Final try scorer, Julian Salvaire.
Bad decision. Very good defence. Launchbury again growing reputation, and Ben Morgan everywhere.
Number 8, England.
No way New Zealand have space to work that, and strong as Surveyor is, too big second row back row, smash him out.
First change from England. Morgan goes
your half-back?
on James Haskell, former Highlander in New Zealand, of course, when he's been on his travels. Parling again is the call.
I'm shot, Captain.
He's calling. Tuolangi through
selfish, nothing wrong with the line that time. And the arch predator Ashton has waited a long time for an international try, but he was there at the right moment, straight under the post. And New Zealand, they must be rocking more than ever. They must have thought 15-14 were in control. They're way out of control. Flat ball. Watch Carter here. Doesn't get near to Alangi. Shrugs off McCaw. And the timing of the pass, superb for Ashton.
But did you see Kieran Reid there? Behind the post. He did not look like he was on the losing side. He was nodding away as if to say, we'll come back here. They can jump and they can shout. What a finish we're going to have. You are never out of sight against the All Blacks. We saw that in '97, the famous 26-all draw. And Farrell is wide with that one. But England had the bonuses of the Carter misses, remember, in the first half. Looked like a free 6 points for Carter there. What a strong run from Tuilagi. And Chris Ashton, 11 games without a try. The splash returns. Piling claims.
Stay 7, back to go.
Youngs to Farrell. Checks. Bit of jinking there from Farrell. And another good pass to Brown. England have got the bit between their teeth here. They really fancy it. As those scores for Barrett and Ashton prove. Who's going to be first here? Ashton is trying to get there. The let-down drop, but Barrett and Ashton and Tuilagi just pile in.
Stay in the feet.
Over the top of the call. New Zealand with Smith. Think about the quick one.
Let's remain up, guys. Give you the benefit of the doubt there.
Dan Carter never lost against England when he's been on the field. He's on the bench in Wellington in '03.
Tuilagi went straight. Carter gets fixed in there. We talked about Ashton's ability to pick the line. He knows what's happening here. Just watch this. Daniel Carter doesn't make the tackle. Ashton fades outside Nonu. Nonu doesn't obstruct him. And Chris Ashton is in at the corner. The right wing in at the left side. That's what he does so well.
Smith, Carter, Surveyor. Haskell comes up. Reid. Interception! Tuilagi! All the way! Mike Brown protects him. Tuilagi is going to just jump there. And England can do this. Is moving towards England will do this.
They're a marvellous team, New Zealand, but 16 points down. This kick goes over. I don't think there's anywhere back there. I think Tuilagi's power has shredded Hanson's team here. Kieran Reid, the man who gave him the talking to, goes for the death part of Carter. There is panic in the New Zealand ranks, and Tuilagi has made two, and he's going to help himself to one there. Matt Brown saying, get under the corner, let's make it a 7-pointer. And maybe Tuilagi could have gone a bit faster, but in the circumstances, he'll say, Owen's going to get this.
There was a man coming across there. And maybe a little ball to Brown, and he could have scored under the post. It's made the kick a little bit tougher, but you know, that is a risk. And if that doesn't work, you are pilloried. So there can be no criticism of Tuilagi from that point of view. It doesn't matter anyway. If it goes over, which it doesn't, flags up. 32-14. That is already England's highest score ever against New Zealand. 18 minutes to go.
Almost inconceivable. Two converted tries and a try to give New Zealand a 1-point lead. New Zealand scored 2 tries in no time. England have not matched it. They bettered it with 3 of their own. New Zealand will be looking at their defensive play. It's gone to pieces. The system's wrong, but England have punished the mistakes that are in front of them.
New Zealand roll back over. And the call is for England to leave it. Simi Alamu's off. Dane Coles, the youngster, is on. There is number 16. Socks round his ankles. Savea, Tulane, and Barrett. Maybe they've come of age today. And they've taken so much flack as well. Rob Shaw last week. Rob Shaw tackles again. He's into double figures now for his personal tackle count. The England captain dropped by Conrad Smith. And when that starts to happen, well,
Miles, Conrad Smith, guilty for one try, knock on there. Dan Carter getting smashed defensively. The big players are just crumbling. It's been a long season for New Zealand, but England seem to have them now on the back foot. Having said that, we've had 5 tries in 23 minutes. Who knows what else could happen? An amazing 25.
Oh, this is fascinating here. We've got Weeper, Crude and carry on as Carter goes along with Smith, but England have brought on Freddie Burns for his first cap. Owen Farrell goes. He has certainly played his part. 22-year-old Freddie Burns from Gloucester wins his first cap. What a time to come on.
An amazing show of faith from Stuart Lancaster, because Farrell has played the game England wanted. That's an amazing show of faith.
Ben Young through the gap again. Goes the England scrum half to Ashton. Got the scoring bug back. New Zealand have had the bug this week, but they're feeling pretty ill at the moment. Launchbury.
Advantage again at the tackle. Your advantage.
Youngs. There's Burns getting a touch. Back to go. Tuolagi. Mike Brown. Crowd is going berserk here. Youngs. In comes Rob Shaw, the captain. Up to Corbisier. He's level. Youngs has it back again.
Still advantage here, guys.
Still advantage the call. Burns. Little chip like he's at King's Home.
Burns has taken that down as well.
But it's in front of the post, it will be more points. And Rob Shaw can't wait to get to the referee.
Yeah, shot a goal.
No scrum, no kick to the corner. And Freddie Burns has said there's a hell of a difference between week in, week out. Premiership goal kicked and international kicks. But what a way for Burns to start here. In front of the post, he's just seen his mate Ben Youngs tear New Zealand to pieces wide. Ashton so alert, and Burns is going to get a very easy 3 international points.
Still, England are emptying their bench here as we watch Ben Youngs break. I don't think he's going to be going off. The men to come on will be Laws, Vunipola and Jonathan Joseph. Here's Freddie Burns, first international points. 35-14.
3 converted tries, and New Zealand get a 35 ordeal. But that's not going to happen. New Zealand look punch drunk. Tuolani's delivered a lot of the punches, and on come Vunipola. Courtney knows England bring on some real impact players. Tuolani's best international. He goes as Joseph comes on. This is an immense day for Lancaster and his England squad.
It's game-changing, isn't it? In every sentence, up comes Wyatt Crockett. Man who sounds like down the wild west. He's from the deep south of New Zealand. But I don't think even Clint Eastwood could win this one, could he? From here, or could he? On New Zealand, that good. Never feel safe any side against any All Black team in any era.
Regarded as rugby Superman, but someone such a kryptonite in that team, and they're just not coming back from these. Their legs are gone. And England back home, the Twickenham crowd, utterly inspired now. The way Ben Youngs just lit the touch paper and went from the last scrum, it tells you England know what they're doing. What a 12 minutes for Freddie Burns. What a way to start your international career. 32-14 against the All Blacks when you come on.
Not happy with that.
Reset scrum will suit England. At half-time we had the debate, we're not in the business of making excuses here, but we did both talk about the fact that maybe England, just maybe, might be benefiting from a 16th and 17th man, Mr. Nora and Mr. Virus.
Yeah, but
New Zealand were that lacklustre, but the way they came out at the start of the second half just throws that argument out the window.
Let him go now. End up winning that 21-6. You wonder if their just legs had gone. But New Zealand was so sharp for 10 minutes. Then they made one or two errors. And England, this time, they exploited the defensive lapses, which they haven't done in the past. Like Kat said, when we get chances, we'll have to take them. England, this autumn, like so many autumns before, have not been doing that. Today, they have, and that's the difference. He must feel like he's in rugby heaven, Freddie Burns.
But there is a 16th man today, and it's this Twickenham crowd. They've certainly played their part. It's as if all their frustrations have been coming out today as well. Not just the players. Ben Youngs is coming off now. His father Nick won against New Zealand in 1983. Ben and Tom, Nick's sons, are all set to be victors this year, as Tom Young stays on and throws in. Wood with the catch. England almost with the game here.
Advantage.
And I know you would delete the almost. Another penalty.
England pack steamroller on the Blacks.
Burns, he knows it's
over.
advantage.
Advantage called over, but Burns is just
But have a line on.
to New Zealand 5 metres from their own line, exactly where they wouldn't want to be.
Hold on, wide off the man.
Incredible. I mean, this is a hammering.
Advantage locked on.
It was knocked on, but again, Ward and England in there at the lineup.
Advantage over.
Talked about the New Zealand menace when they scored one of their tries.
Hey.
You look at Courtney Lawes, who think England have got menace of their own. Vunipola too. And Jonathan Joseph, he's had to be patient this autumn. Didn't get off the bench last week. Initially out of the team with an ankle injury. Care to Burns. That's a lovely delivery to Tom Wood. Now he's storming on. Mike Brown's got it. Care is Harlequin's teammate. There is Courtney Lawes. Stopped by Smith, Conrad Smith. Haskell sets it back. Burns again to good. England are going to have to be good here against the All Black defence. Out wide. And Ashton can't quite
Have a line up, guys.
take
Have a
it
line
that
up.
time.
Owen Farrell played very well, extremely solid today. But Burns has come on, the little chip. Look at this pass.
15.
So flat, so fast. That's high quality. And Tom Wood then has a chance.
Time off.
Really good stuff from the Gloucester man. He's come on and he's added something different to Farrell. The balance has been very good at Tom.
The execution, the skills, the precision that England have been looking for, and the clear thinking too.
Look at this. That is a gorgeous pass. If you float that ball, it gets picked off. The objective when you're really attacking is almost at 0 degrees. You don't throw it backwards, you hit that gain line and you come onto it, and England did it there.
This feels so much like that day in 1997 when England raced into a lead then and ended up with a draw. But it was treated like a win just because of what had happened before. I suppose this far and away supersedes it therefore. 35-14.
Sorry.
Vunipola. Care. Burns looking confident, on his toes and waiting. And Barrett now starting to show confidence. And so he should. After what he's done, especially in this second half.
Great ball, Robshaw there.
In the attacking sense in England.
Advantage.
Well, they are giving great balls. Another advantage, Robshaw. Penalty.
Retrieving player.
I think everybody now
Interfere with the scrum half.
accept will be
Around the
victory
tackle
if
area.
this goes over.
Tap and go. New Zealand are on the last legs. Run it. Said he ironically. It has been. You don't. As Clive,
Not really too concerned about it. Just trying to make sure the guys are not seeing off the ball when we got
They got in the habit of beating New Zealand, but when they beat them here, it was never a full-strength New Zealand team. Sure, they did it in Wellington, but this is England's finest win I can ever remember here against New Zealand. Brad Barrett with the break. A little bit of luck now. Dad just hits him, but great support from Barrett. You earned your luck. They were so unlucky against South Africa last week with a try. That's a beauty. Ashton support line. Can Burns finish it? Oh, yes, he can.
Freddie Burns, that confidence is there for all to see. Farrell cheers him on. England have never lifted the Hillary Shield. They're going to do so today. And that smile from Tuilagi says it all.
38 points to 14. I'm looking at the top left of my screen. I can't quite believe what I'm seeing.
David Pace is on. David Wilson on goes. Two front row replacements. Off comes those two. We won't dwell on that because Young has won it again to give to Joseph two pace. As Youngs and Cole go. Set that back to good. Here comes Courtney Lawrence. Another who have been frustrated. His ill-timed knee injury. Look how England are finishing here. And remember, New Zealand were looking to go 21 matches unbeaten, the world champions. Burns.
Not there, Frederick. Not there.
A little bit of a lesson that time, but great strike.
And the forwards, Miles, are just so on top of this match. They're carrying forward.
Support work of the highest order. Conrad Smith, he was in the air.
Tackle in the air.
And Barrett knew it.
Advantage, not
Still
10.
wasn't going to let go of it. And then Vunapoli lost 10 metres and continued to play. That might get him in the bin. It should. Just didn't stop.
Cynical player trying to slow him down for a quick tap.
Well, the young man who doesn't look so young, a little bit cynical there, and he's probably going to enjoy this international victory less than the other guys in the squad, but he'll be enjoying this as part of this entire squad. Amazing. But just thinking, the Leicester Youngs brothers are incredible. Ben Youngs answered his critics today, played really well. Tom Youngs has been one of the success stories. We go back to his game just before the autumn internationals where his line-up looked out of it. I just think watching their dad, Nick, who beat the All Blacks in '83, father and two sons.
Here comes a New Zealand attack with Nonu. In goes Wipu. And New Zealand showing great hands there. Smith, beautiful, inside the net. And it's there again. Just over 5 minutes. They run back as if they still believe.
Well, Conrad's been responsible for one try, but he made that. His ability to just check himself and give that pass to Surveyor coming around, quite sensational. This is brilliant offload. Did you see all of this? England can't slow them down. When New Zealand get quick ball, they're deadly. They haven't got enough. This ball is consummate. Consummate from Smith.
Not made last week about how quickly or how slowly England took the kick to goal at the end. New Zealand can't hang around here themselves. Cruden's come on and he has converted there, so glance at the scoreboard is now a gap that is surely not bridgeable given the time. Where are you going for man of the match?
Well, Tuilagi is an obvious contender, but I think the heart and soul of this game is in the English oats, the forwards, and I think Tom Wood took the line out and the breakdown, carrying. He took the game to New Zealand. And he is my QBE man of the match. He has been sensational. And Chris Robshaw is captain, almost as good. A fabulous effort from the England pack.
There is a little subplot here. The New Zealand teams, we talk to players who have been involved in losing sides against England. It's something that never leaves them. Nobody wants to be on the end of the record margin of defeat to England. And that is what New Zealand are still facing here. currently stands at 13. That game back in 1936. But the way they're playing, they're still chasing the game. England though, hit another breakdown.
Knock on.
Get another advantage that time for the knock-on.
Advantage over.
Under a man down here with Vunipola in the sin bin.
They've sprinted New Zealand up front in this last 20 minutes, smashed them.
Hammer, chisel, the lot. Here's Brown with a drop goal attempt. But now we're down to 3 minutes.
And there's no decision New Zealand are going to make that's going to alter this result one jot. An astonishing score, 12-1 on with the bookmakers to win, and England have put them away in style. Astonishing.
And England eyeing up the 40s, and that's Lomu, Cape Town territory. Nice pace.
Off your feet. Sealing off.
Ball lost.
Here we go. And away, captain!
Not the way he wanted to go into his sabbatical at all.
It's ruined his 6-month break, Miles. It's ruined it.
Won't be 1 minute of Benny Day, he won't think about it. You just know that with McCall. There goes Vito. Vito looking fresh. Oh, what a ball inside that is. Tureen. That was breathtakingly good. Here goes Nonu. New Zealand showing exactly what they can do, but in doing so, they're showing how well England have played today. Ball is lost. Maybe that sums up their day. Lost by Whitelock.
Geez, I was just thinking that Bobby Bird's penalty when they put 38-21 could be significant. And the pass goes astray, and England can blow their cheeks. New Zealand have made more handling errors than England. They're so ambitious normally, but they stick. Today they have.
Say again, please.
But you would do against that defence, wouldn't you?
6 for what team? 6 wide. 6 wide to coming off.
Amazing defiance
6
from
wide.
New Zealand. You can see why they are the best team in the world. They've lost this game today, but England will have to say
Can you
it's a
come down here,
win, and it's the launch back to something bigger
Let's go.
and better. For New Zealand, they've got to say, hey, it's our only 1 in 21.
Absolutely. England can't kid themselves. They're in the middle of a run, like New Zealand are, which is coming to an end. One win in their next 6. That win against Fiji, of course, is Tom Wood. The majestic Tom Wood today. What a return to international rugby.
What's pleased me about this performance, we've seen the character always expect from England. You've seen a fabulous forward effort, but they have created space, they have made breaks, and they have taken their tries. 3 scores, 3 tries against the All Blacks. Incredible.
Here is Reid.
Okay. Advantage.
Crockett.
Good. No advantage, not 10. Not 10. On
New
the run
Zealand
now.
are now chasing, whether they know it or not, trying to avoid
Hands
the
up, wide.
heaviest ever defeat against England. This is what it's all about now, or at least finish their year on the high. They've been on a high for so long, since the World Cup win. What a tackle.
Back 7.
Brown involved and Laws too.
Advantage.
There goes Haskell, that's a knock-on. New Zealand have got extra men here, nothing Aston can do. Dropped by Vito. Another knock-on.
Offside.
Referee's given a
Here,
penalty.
Nigel.
New Zealand will get another chance. Much of that plays England won't be kidding themselves, or can't kid themselves, but they won't be, because
Captain.
it's a grounded camp. Stuart Lancaster knows this is just right at the start of the journey. He's been emphasising that all the time, even in the face of defeat. But what a launch pad, as you say, this is. Crowd celebrating, the clock has gone, and New Zealand's unbeaten record is gone.
Hands up wide.
England determined to hold out here. Don't want this final flourish from the men in black. Their year sort of deserves it. But England deserve to hold them up the way they play. George Clancy looks. And looks. And decides that after 10 years here, England have
said before this game, England have showed oodles of character this autumn, but they've lacked class. Today, when the opportunities came, they found them. And by doing that, England delivered a performance that took them out of the top tier of Six Nations second division rugby into the area where the oxygen is thin, where you have to perform against the best. They didn't quite have enough to beat Australia and South Africa, as unlucky as they may have been against the Box. But today, England found one of the great performances in the last 15 years, one of the great performances in the professional era here at Twickenham from an England side.